Surah Al-Ikhlas. If you separate them, if you put it together, Suratul Ikhlas, Suratul Ikhlas, Suratul Ikhlas, Suratul Ikhlas. That is Surah of Qul Huwa Allah. Every other surah have some part of the surah they call Surah Al-Munasabah to Surah. So the munasabah of the surah is the title of the surah. That will be part of the name. Like Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq. The Falaq is the name of the surah, Suratul Falaq. Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Nas. The Nas is the munasabah of the surah. It will be Suratul Nas. So Suratul Mulk, Tabarakalladhi biyadihi al-mulk. The mulk is the munasabah the surah is called with. So some surah, the name is in the beginning of it. Some surah, the name is in the middle of the surah. Some the name will be in the last verse of the surah, or to end of the surah, even not the last one. So it will be in the surah, one of the letter, one of the word in the surah will be the title of the surah. So they claim the name by that. This surah doesn't have, or we don't call Surah Qul Huwa Allah, or Surah Samad, or Surah Lam Yalid, or Surah Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad, because those are titles of Allah. So what is here, Ikhlas means sincerity. Surah of sincerity to Allah. Sincerity, that's the meaning of the surah. That is coming to the meaning. I will explain that. Then you seek refuge from Allah. You seek refuge of Allah from the devil before you read the Quran. You say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge of you, Allah, from the evil of the devil. So they don't worship into me. That way I could not be reading. You will not be focused because you didn't say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You are saying the word by your mouth, but not hardly. In your heart, you're not focused. Or you keep yawning and get tired and fall asleep. You feel like you're tired, you have to take a nap. You're not even sleepy, but shaitan make you sleepy in that time. You keep yawning and get tired. Eventually you put the book down and lay down. When you lay down, the sleeping is gone. You're watching TV now comfortably with no sleeping because you didn't say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Shaitan come to all those trigger to you. The way he can kick you away from worshiping Allah by reciting the Quran and this hurting them. That's why you have to say this. This is compulsory. You have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim before you read the Quran anytime. In case you read in the Quran, you stop some part, somebody asks you a question. You answer to that person. Now the A'udhu billahi you did the first time, that code is off. Since you talk to somebody, when you have to go back to recite again, you have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim again. Because something happened that broke the code of first isti'adha. Now you're reciting again, you have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim another time, encore. So that's what the A'udhu billahi mean. It's important to read, it's compulsory for the reader of the Quran. When you recite in the Quran, before you read surah, you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Even if you forgot, you didn't say it, you start reciting, stop the recitation and say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Then you go start the beginning of the surah. If it's in the beginning of the surah, you say Bismilahi rahmanir rahim. This again is compulsory. When you are in the beginning of the surah, to say Bismillahi rahmanir rahim, because every surah come with Bismillahi rahmanir rahim except one surah in the Quran, Surah Tawbah, Surah of Repentance, or they call it Surah Al-Bara'ah. That surah have a lot of name too. So that surah don't have Bismillah. Other than that surah, every surah in the Quran have Bismillah in the beginning. So when you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, you read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Since you're starting the recitation from the beginning of the surah. But let's say you read in the Quran and you stop in the juz'u. Juz'u is the part that is a stop sign in the Quran. You read to that stop sign, that could be middle of the surah. You stop there. Tomorrow you're going to start reciting from there. People read the Quran this way. You start from this level to this part of next surah or next three surah. You read all that today. You stop in the middle of some surah. Tomorrow you have to start from there because you want to recite the Quran for whole entire month to finish from the beginning to the end. So every day you start from where you stopped yesterday, today you start there. Most of those parts will not be the beginning of the new surah. You stop in the middle of the surah and you have to start from that middle of the surah. That part you don't say Bismillah Rahman Rahim in there. You only say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. You don't say Bismillahi Rahman Rahim because it's not the beginning of the surah. It's no reason to say Bismillahi Rahman Rahim in the middle of the surah. Except if one of the surah is in the Quran, Surah Al-Naml, Surah of the Ant. That in the middle of the surah have Bismillahi Rahman Rahim. Innahu min Sulaiman wa innahu Bismillahi Rahman Rahim wa alla ta'alu alayya wa atuni muslimin. That Bismillah is part of the Quran surah. That is part of the surah, is in that verses of the Quran, is not in the beginning. The Bismillah in the beginning, they call it ayatul mustaqillah. Ayatul mustaqillah means it's not with the surah, it's not part of the surah. So the surah starts, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Bismillah is not part of it. Same thing with Fatiha. Some people recite, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, even the prayer. You're not supposed to. If you read Bismillah, it's fine. But you're not supposed to read Bismillah loud. It's bid'ah. The Prophet never read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim loud in the prayer. It doesn't mean he don't read it. He will read Bismillah quiet, but the recitation will start loud. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So the madhahib split on this. Madhab al-Safi'i, Imam al-Shafi'i, his madhab, the people believe that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is with the Fatiha. If you don't read that, it means you don't read Fatiha complete because you left the Bismillah out. But it's not part of it. That's the strong part. It's not with Fatiha. No other surah, Bismillah will be part of the surah. Now, the surah is starting from here. Now, we will start another one.